A girl walks into an elevator. She presses the buttons, looks outside, then hides again. The elevator doors stay open, refusing to close, and she disappears. This isn't a movie. This really happened. This is the story of Elisa Lam.
January 2013, Los Angeles, city of dreams, neon lights, and endless stories. And somewhere inside that glittering chaos, a young student from Vancouver, Canada, was searching for something: freedom, adventure, maybe even herself. Her name was Elisa Lam. Smart, curious, a little shy, and full of thoughts that she shared on her Tumblr blog called Nouvelle Nouveau. She wrote about books, heartbreak, mental health, and the constant storm inside her mind. She was open about her bipolar disorder, how her moods could swing between euphoria and despair. But she was hopeful. This trip to Los Angeles was supposed to be her escape before returning to college. On January 26, 2013, Elisa checked into the Cecil Hotel, located on Main Street, downtown LA. From the outside, it looked like an old piece of Hollywood history, once glamorous in the 1920s, now decaying, sitting on the edge of Skid Row, one of America's toughest neighborhoods. But what Elisa didn't know was the hotel's dark history. It had been home to suicides, overdoses, murders. In the 1980s, serial killer Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, lived there during his killing spree. Another serial killer, Jack Unterweger, stayed in the same building years later. Dozens had jumped to their deaths from its upper floors. Locals said the Cecil was cursed. Tourists called it haunted. And Elisa, unknowingly, had walked right into its darkness. During her first few days, Elisa explored Los Angeles, bookstores, cafes, galleries. She called her parents every evening, updating them about her adventures. She seemed fine, excited, curious. But on January 31st, everything stopped. No calls, no texts. Her parents panicked and called the LAPD. A missing person report was filed, and detectives began searching the hotel. Police dogs sniffed every hallway, every floor, even the rooftop. But they found nothing. No trace of Elisa, no witnesses, no signs of struggle. Days turned into weeks. The investigation was going nowhere until the police released a piece of evidence that would shake the entire world. It was a security camera video from inside one of the hotel's elevators, recorded on the night Elisa vanished. The footage showed her stepping inside the elevator in her red hoodie and shorts. She pressed several buttons, one after another, as if she was trying to escape from something. The doors didn't close. She peeked outside, looked left, looked right, then hid in the corner. Her movements became strange, almost unnatural. She stepped out again, waving her hands in bizarre, slow gestures, as if talking to someone invisible in the hallway. Then suddenly, she walks out and disappears. The elevator doors finally closed, almost as if the hotel itself took a deep breath and sealed her fate. Within hours of its release, the video went viral. Millions of people across the world were obsessed. What was Elisa doing? Who or what was she hiding from? Theories exploded online. Some said she was high. Others believed she was having a manic episode because of her bipolar disorder. And then came the darker ones, that someone was following her, that she was possessed, or that she had encountered something supernatural lurking inside the Cecil Hotel. Reddit threads, YouTube videos, online detectives, everyone wanted answers, but the LAPD still had none. February 19th, 2013, 3 weeks after Elisa disappeared, guests at the Cecil began complaining about the water. It had low pressure, tasted foul, and came out black for a few seconds before clearing. A maintenance worker named Santiago Lopez climbed to the roof to check the water tanks. He opened one of the massive 8-foot tanks, and there, floating face up, was Elisa Lam's decomposing body, naked, her clothes floating beside her, her phone, her watch, all inside the water. The horror was unspeakable. Police rushed to the rooftop. They were baffled. How did Elisa get up here? The roof access door was locked and alarmed. To reach the tank, she would have needed to climb a high ladder and lift a 20-pound metal hatch. Not easy for anyone, especially someone her size. The coroner's report later revealed no drugs, no alcohol, no physical trauma, only her prescribed medication for bipolar disorder. Her cause of death, accidental drowning. But nothing about this case felt accidental. Detectives reconstructed her final hours. The only way to the roof without triggering alarms was through a fire escape window on the 15th floor. Maybe she'd wandered there while disoriented. Maybe she thought she was trapped. Maybe she believed she was escaping something only she could see. But one haunting detail refused to make sense. When her body was found, the water tank's lid was closed. From the inside, that was nearly impossible. Online theorists went wild. Some claimed the video was edited, the elevator's timestamp looked distorted, certain frames missing. Others noticed her strange hand movements, saying she was mimicking a Korean elevator game rumored to summon spirits. Then came the eerie coincidences. Around the same time, a tuberculosis outbreak occurred near Skid Row, and the test used to detect it was named Lam Elisa. The same name, reversed. Coincidence? Maybe. But to the internet, it felt like something far darker. As the story spread, the hotel's history resurfaced. Since opening in 1927, the Cecil Hotel had been a magnet for tragedy. It was once a luxury landmark, marble floors, chandeliers, velvet halls. But as downtown LA fell into decay, so did the hotel. By the 1960s, it had become a long-term residence for drifters and the mentally ill. Police reports listed suicides, overdoses, even murders. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, stayed there in room 1412 while killing in Los Angeles. And in the 1990s, Austrian journalist turned serial killer Jack Unterweger lived there too, strangling sex workers just blocks away. The Cecil wasn't just a hotel anymore. It was a symbol of the city's dark underbelly, a place where broken souls went to disappear. And now, Elisa Lam had joined its list of victims. But behind every theory, every conspiracy, there was still a young woman, a daughter, a dreamer, someone who wrote about loneliness, love, and the pressure of being alive. Her last Tumblr post, days before she vanished, read something simple yet haunting. You're always haunted by the idea you're wasting your life. Maybe she wasn't running from something outside that elevator. Maybe she was running from something inside herself. Her parents filed a lawsuit against the hotel, claiming negligence, arguing the building should have had better security and restricted roof access. But the court dismissed it. They ruled Elisa's death unforeseeable. No one could have predicted it. The Cecil later rebranded as Stay on Main, trying to escape its reputation. But the name change couldn't wash away the ghosts, because online, Elisa Lam's story would never die. 10 years later, her elevator video still circulates. People still analyze her gestures frame by frame. They slow it down, zoom in, searching for clues. A shadow in the hallway, a second footstep, a reflection in the mirror. But maybe there was never anyone else there. Maybe what we saw in that elevator was Elisa, caught between reality and the chaos inside her own mind. The truth is, we may never know. Maybe she climbed into that tank in a moment of confusion. Maybe something or someone led her there. Maybe the Cecil's darkness consumed her like it had so many others. But one thing is certain. A lonely girl stepped into an elevator one cold January night, and the world has been trapped in that moment ever since. If you found this story chilling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime mysteries. Because sometimes, the scariest stories aren't fiction.